It looks like Nintendo is putting more points into mini mastery as a new N64 trademark arises that strongly indicates a mini 64 console. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and Nintendo Co. Ltd. have applied for an N64 trademark in Japan. That includes video game program, controller for game machine, joystick for game machine, TV game machine, and more. And more and more, it's looking like this is going to be an N64 Mini. People in the know have said that these are not just reapplying the trademark for, like, oh, hey, Nintendo renews, like, the Mario Kart trademark and the Donkey Kong trademark. This is specifically with the intent and to be applied to a device a la a mini classic console. So, Gabe, this could be one of the E3 surprises.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little weird to have the NES, SNES, and the N64 all on store shelves for people to buy. Like, that might be one too many options. But, I mean, this is cool. The N64, very beloved console. People have very fond memories of it. There are some great games on it. So, if this does happen, I'm all for it. I would probably want one, and I would probably play that unless, unlike the other ones that I purchased and never played. So, I'm sort of excited to see if it happens. Again, it's just weird if they're all on the store shelves at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, they view it like there's a market for all of their classic catalog, and they don't want to put it, in the form of virtual console. So why not put them in these pre-packaged, in theory, more money-making varieties? So some things that are interesting about this are, one, so many games that were beloved from this era have licensing issues, and how you work around that. Obviously, Nintendo can go with the Mario 64, Mario Kart, Smash Bros., things of that sort without any issue, but a number of other games then become difficult. But even if it just was the Zeldas, the Marios, and a few others, I still think that's a very strong package. But I do wonder, given that the games are bigger and have more scope, if you could get away with a smaller catalog on this classic console. Whereas the NES had 30 titles and the SNES had 21, if you're throwing in stuff like Majora's Mask and Mario 64, maybe you only need 10 or so games on N64 Mini.
Yeah, price is then going to become an issue, right? Because people are used to a little bit more games. But there are a decent number of games you could still throw on there. Diddy Kong Racing comes to mind, Yoshi's Story, Star Fox. You can easily get 10 games if 10 is what you're going for, especially with the two Zeldas and Mario. So
yeah. Absolutely. And then another point that you brought up, Gabe, that's interesting is, what is the box structure like to shove that big controller in? Because the NES controller and the SNES controller have a much smaller form factor, whereas the N64 controller is pretty chunky. So I would imagine that the N64 controller is going to be bigger than the N64 Mini, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and do you include two of those chunky monkeys? Like, do you have two controllers in the box the same way the SNES did? I know the SNES was a little bit more couch co-op, friendly, and these games, some have couch co-op, like Mario Kart and Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I think if your focus is like Smash, Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, like, you have to, right?
Yeah, so then you need, the box might be like way bigger. So,
or maybe they go all single player focused. Either way, it does look like this is something that's happening. It's not hard to predict, but this trademark application is just further proof, and it seems like it might be speeding towards some sort of announcement, whether at E3 or an upcoming Direct. Let us know your take in the comments down below on how you feel about an N64 Mini and what you think about Gabe's point. 3 classic consoles on store shelves all at once. We know that Nintendo is going to try to keep the NES and SNES supplies running through 2018. If they introduce a third, does that become awkward? Or maybe they save N64 for next year. Either way, we'll keep you posted as soon as we know. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe and stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and super cool factoids like this one. Follow us on Twitter and Discord, links in the description below. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. For myself and Gabe, Switchforce, out.